On February 24, 1923, the body of Thái Thiên Phượng, also known as a Bikoi, a well-known figure in Hong Kong, was discovered by the police in a house in the village of Nviachugi, V2I Bisai, Hong Kong. The crime scene was horrifying, beyond words to describe its repulsiveness. Many people felt nauseous just looking at the room. Thái Thiên Phượng was very famous in Hong Kong's entertainment and fashion circles. The case was associated with keywords like body dismemberment to cover up evidence, including methods such as melting and fragmenting to stash in the refrigerator, making it a globally shocking event. Even BBC and CNN reported on the matter. Since then, news from various sources has made the seemingly clear-cut case more convoluted. Some believed it was a property dispute, while others thought it resulted from a complicated love affair involving her former and current lovers. So what exactly did she go through, and why was she brutally murdered in such a manner? Today, we will discuss the case of Thái Thiên Phượng. Thái Thiên Phượng was born on July 15, 1994 in Hong Kong. Her mother, tragically Ho, was an ordinary tailor. After growing up, she married and lived with her first husband in Haikou City, Hainan, China. Because her husband's parents held significant status in Hong Kong, the couple moved there and gave birth to Thái Thiên Phượng. But the good times didn't last. Shortly after settling in Hong Kong, her husband became addicted to gambling, and they divorced. She then remarried a restaurant owner, Thái Thiên Phượng, current stepfather. The couple had 2 more daughters. Thái Thiên Phượng got along very well with her stepfather and half-sisters. After remarrying, tragically Ho and her new husband decided to move from Hong Kong back to Hainan to develop economically, initially investing in precious metals. She later got involved in infrastructure projects in Hainan and became wealthy, amassing hundreds of millions of Hong Kong dollars. A few years ago, she even started a social media account under the nickname Choi to share her daily life. The people of Hainan knew her as a kind, hearted person and a model mother. She often taught her daughters to be kind and gentle. At 15, Thái Thiên Phượng met her classmate Ku Seung Chi at Alex Wong while still in school. Compared to Thái Thiên Phượng family, Alex's was much more ordinary, but she didn't care about that. She loved Si-Rain Chiu with the innocence of a blossoming youth. By 2012, when Thái Thiên Phượng turned 18, the two registered their marriage and had 1 son and 1 daughter. She started an Instagram account to share about luxury handbags and jewelry, attracting a significant following. Meanwhile, her husband did not have a stable job. From 2013 to 2015, he continuously stole 39 necklaces, 32 bracelets, and gold in the Yot Sim Mong district in Hong Kong, being charged with 7 counts of theft. In 2015, he used a gay dating app to establish relationships, posing as a senior intermediary specializing in precious metal transactions and promising to resell gold at high prices, deceiving foreclosed male friends of nearly 5 million yuan. In February 2015, he was arrested by police for fraud at the Royal Garden, where he lived with Thái Thiên Phượng, and was then released on bail. Additionally, he faced numerous financial issues. In 2015, Omni Deacon Express Bank recalled a debt of 100,000 Hong Kong dollars from him. In 2016, another creditor pursued a debt of nearly 1.58 million Hong Kong dollars, even suing him in the High Court. He eventually chose to flee and became a wanted criminal. Miraculously, many years later, he still frequently traveled between mainland China and Hong Kong. But the Hong Kong police failed to catch him. After his escape, Thái Thiên Phượng realized she had married the wrong person and quickly divorced him. After the divorce, custody of the children fell to him, and the children were sent to live with his family. Thái Thiên Phượng then moved on with her life. She married Choi, the son of the owner of T Nam, a famous noodle restaurant in Hong Kong with a 27-year history and hundreds of branches. On December 9, 2016, Thái Thiên Phượng and Trallet held a grand wedding, but had not officially registered their marriage. Moreover, the assets of the two families seemed independent of each other after the wedding. In 2018, Thái Thiên Phượng bought a high-rise apartment in Manhattan Hill, valued at about 45 million Hong Kong dollars, roughly 135 billion Vietnamese dong. Though Trallet and Thái Thiên Phượng did not have official marriage certificates, their married life appeared very sweet. Thiên Phượng also sought a boy and a girl for Trallet. Thiên Phượng mother, tragically often posted family photos on social media with captions such as "My extraordinary son-in-law, truly remarkable." Whenever we are together, we can talk endlessly, care deeply, be understanding, and supportive of one another, cherish the beautiful journey of life, and be grateful for everything. From these statuses, it is evident that tragically has a great affection for her new son-in-law, Trallet. Additionally, Trallet takes great care of Thiên Phượng two children from her previous marriage. They often take all 4 children along on trips. Thiên Phượng new in-laws are also very fond of her, referring to her as a kind, treasured daughter, despite not being related by blood. After marrying into the Duum family, perhaps due to ample support, the Angie's career began to flourish. She regularly participated in public events in the fashion industry and met many famous personalities. At the end of January 2023, she attended the Fashion Party Week event on February 25, just 8 days before the incident occurred. Thiên Phượng appeared on the cover of the Fashion Party newsletter, described as a rising star with a bright future. In contrast, her ex-husband Alex continues to lead a leisurely life. How could he suddenly give up the cash cow he once had? For many years after their divorce, Thiên Phượng financially supported Alex's family. According to a report from Chinese media, Thiên Phượng even promised her ex-husband to take care of him for the rest of his life during their divorce. Even when he incurred business losses, she kept her promise without anger. According to a report from Sina, after their divorce in 2015, Alex's family took care of their 2 children, but in reality, Thiên Phượng was responsible for all financial expenses, including hiring servants and private drivers. On the other hand, Alex's family used the excuse of having 2 children to ask Thiên Phượng for money. In an instant, the money was squandered. Alex was a fugitive for many years, often pretending to be a wealthy person on the mainland and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in one night to invite people for drinks. In 2018, Thin Ph Gig invested in and founded a limited liability company called Pink Lady. She and her ex-husband's brother, Anthony Kwong Kt, were both directors. In 2021, she invested in and founded a snack company called Beer Select and continued to serve as a director alongside Kwong Kai and T. In a group photo with Thien Phan posted by Kwong Ki on social media, the hashtag read, "She Me Health Sibling Love," indicating a peculiar relationship. Furthermore, Alex's family somehow maintained a good relationship with Thien Ph's new in-laws. According to Tin Ph's friend named Bo Thai, her current husband, Trode Lut, had previously injured his leg and was undergoing rehabilitation. During that period, her ex-husband Alex frequently accompanied him and kept inviting Lut to join him at the casino. Even other patients in the rehabilitation area complained that Alex's behavior was severely disrupting their treatment. Tralot refused Alex to avoid causing trouble for Tha Ingi, and Thin Phha acted as if nothing had happened. In January 2023, following Thien Ph's arrangement, both her ex-husband's and new husband's families visited a temple together and took group photos. Overall, the relationship between both families was truly indescribable for outsiders. Most unbelievably, in 2019, Thin Pha spent 72 million Hong Kong dollars to buy a luxurious house in Prince's Hill, Kowloon, Hong Kong, and put the property under her ex-father-in-law, Kwong Si-yu's name. However, some media speculated that Tian Jing did this for tax purposes since she already owned an apartment in Manhattan Hill. If she bought another house under a person's name who had never owned any property, she would save 7 million Hong Kong dollars in tax, equivalent to about 20 billion VND. In 2020, Alex's family moved into the luxurious house and posted a photo of them having hot pot with the caption on Instagram reading, "First meal in the new house," and Tien Pha. You might never have imagined that buying that house would become a future reminder for her. In 2022, Thin Pha planned to sell the villa under her ex-father-in-law's name, setting aside part of the money for her children's future education fund. The remaining amount would be used to purchase a new house for her ex-husband's family members to live in, with the support of a lawyer, even though she was not the owner of the house, as long as she could provide evidence that she had fully invested in the house. It would still belong to her. In January 2023, Thien Phung listed a luxury house for sale at 77 million Hong Kong dollars. Real estate agents continuously brought people to view the house, causing Kwong Kao great anxiety. Despite Thien Phung repeatedly assuring him that she would handle everything appropriately, he refused to accept it. He believed that since the house was purchased in his name, it belonged to him. He even threatened to kill Thien Phung if she dared to sell the house. The refusal from Alex's family made Thien Phung more determined to sell the house. Consequently, after several price reductions, she sold the house for $63 million, accepting a loss of nearly 10 million Hong Kong dollars. Despite this, Thien Phung still seemed to trust her ex-husband's family. Initially, she had 3 personal drivers, but one of them abruptly quit at the beginning of 2023. Therefore, under strong urging from her ex-husband's family, Thien Phuong hired Quang Kiet, her ex-husband's brother, as her personal driver. Unexpectedly, this was part of the entire plot by their family. On February 21, 2023, at 2:02 p.m., Thien Phuong had her last phone call with her friend Bao Tai. At 2:15 p.m., she was wearing a white long-sleeved shirt, white pants, white slippers, and carrying a handbag when she got into a white 7-seater car driven by Quang Kiet near Kadori Hill. As usual, she was going to pick up her children from school, but since then, Thien Phuong has disappeared from the world. On the morning of February 22, not waiting for his wife to return, her husband reported her missing to the police and offered a reward of 2 million Hong Kong dollars for any information leading to her whereabouts. Her biological family also offered an additional $2 million, and her close friend added another $2 million. The total reward amounted to 6 million Hong Kong dollars, equivalent to around 18 billion VND. Upon receiving the report, the police quickly launched an investigation and discovered the monetary dispute between Thien Phuong and Alex's family regarding the mansion in Kadori Hill. At the same time, the family had significant criminal motives because Thien Phuong had not registered her marriage. Therefore, without a will, upon her death, her assets would be inherited by her 4 children, with the 2 children from her first marriage getting half of the assets. Driver Quang Kiet was the first to be summoned by the police for questioning. During the interrogation, he provided much misinformation. For instance, he tried to confuse the investigation by claiming that Thien Phuong had gotten out of the car on her own and disappeared. When the police requested the dashcam footage, he responded that the camera was broken. Later, the police also summoned her ex-husband's parents, Quang Ko and Lai Thai Hong. They also gave misleading statements to varying degrees. However, when the police attempted to contact Alex, they discovered he was also missing. During the stalled investigation, Thien Phuong's mother unexpectedly contacted the police, claiming that her daughter had appeared to her in a dream. In the dream, her daughter indicated she was in a place with barking dogs, the sound of wind, and a mountain behind her. Additionally, she repeatedly mentioned Dabu. Strangely, on the afternoon of February 24, 2023, the police found Thien Phuong in a house in Long Wai Village, Tai Po, Hong Kong. Unfortunately, she had passed away, with her legs and arms hidden in a refrigerator and the rest of her body parts disposed of. The house was simply furnished, with only a few tables and sofas and no beds. Tarpaulins hung on the walls and windows. Inside were a meat grinder, electric saw, raincoats, gloves, and other criminal tools. The gruesome scene won't be described here, but you can look it up online if curious. From the residents' testimonies, the police gradually reconstructed the event. On February 21, Quang Kiet picked up Thien Phuong in a 7-seater car. The vehicle then stopped in front of the Leon Rock Tunnel entrance to pick up Alex. There, an argument between her and her ex-husband left her unconscious. Around 3:12 p.m., the car entered Long Wai Road, Tai Po. Following her car was another white 7-seater. The police guessed that Quang Ko was likely driving that car, used to transport criminal tools. At this point, many might wonder why they involved the 65-year-old father, Kwang Kao. In reality, Kwang Kao's background was not simple. He was a former detective sergeant in the police force and had been awarded long service medals by the Hong Kong police and first-class medals. However, in 2005, while investigating a criminal case, Kwang Kao abused his position to obtain the victim's contact information. Since then, he repeatedly contacted the woman and even went to her home to harass her. The woman later reported the incident to the police, and Kwang Kao was detained for investigation. While awaiting trial, Kwang Kao admitted his wrongdoing and resigned. Afterward, the incident seemed to conclude peacefully. Those who understood the law, like Q Ringi Situ, could see the fate of the perpetrators. Hence, they strictly adhered to the law, becoming accustomed to legal procedures and knowing better how to evade legal responsibility. Conversely, this made them even more prone to committing crimes. Clearly, Ku Ninji Siku belonged to this latter group and was most likely the main mastermind behind the case. From the night of the incident until the early morning of the following day, the villagers of Long V heard continuous chopping sounds from the house. The elderly even heard arguments between a man and a woman but couldn't discern the content. The villagers thought it was just a regular quarrel and did not report it to the police. A villager named Jiang revealed that the house had been vacant for some time before being recently rented out. Around 6 weeks before the incident, a white 7-seater car was often seen parked in front of the house. Upon investigation, the police learned that the tenant was Nga Chi Vin, who was Ku Eun-gi Seo's lover. Nga Chi Vin worked at a massage parlor. The day after meeting Ku Eun-gi Seo, who frequently visited the parlor, they realized they needed each other and developed a relationship. In mid-February, Nga Chi Vin also rented another place at the Ki home in Mun to cover her tracks after the incident. It can be concluded that this was a premeditated murder, not an act of sudden rage. On the same day the victim's body was found, the police arrested Ku Eun-gi Situ, Ku Eun-gi Sian Kiet, and Elothathai Hnonan for concealing the truth. A day later at 1 p.m. on February 25, the police captured Ku Eun-gi Sian Chi, who had been evading arrest for days at Tung Chung Pier, near Hong Kong International Airport. He was found with over HKD 500,000 in cash and several luxury watches valued at over HKD 4 million. The person who helped Ku Eun-gi Sian Chi escape was Thu En, 41 years old, a yacht rental company employee. After the incident, he received HKD 300,000 and promised to help Sian Chi flee from Hong Kong to Macau by sea. On March 6, 1923, Hong Kong police also arrested Fan Xo Oh Hyan, a friend of Sian and Chiu, while she was fleeing from Hong Kong to the mainland. Pan Xo Oh Hyan was accused of contacting to arrange Sian Chi's escape. Hyan is the daughter of notorious crime boss Phine Nan Bin, nicknamed Song Sung Viet Owen. In 1993, Phan Nan Bien stormed a restaurant in Yau Ma Tei with 2 guns to rob it. He fought with the police and fled, but was later sentenced to 15 years in prison. Surprisingly, Fan Xo Hyan was not only a friend of Sian Chi, but also a close friend of Thin Phag. She attended Thin Phag's birthday party, and they took many photos together. On February 25, a large number of police officers searched the Sea, Yu Kuno area for evidence, employing over 100 divers, a high-altitude search team, sniffer dogs, and mobile units, but found nothing. On the afternoon of February 26, the police finally found Teen Phche Ing's head in a large pot of soup, about half a meter high, at a related house in Long V Village. Carrots and other vegetables were also in the pot. The police speculated that the killer intended to make the soup look like kitchen waste that could be discarded. As of the time this video was made, all suspects had been apprehended. Kuungi Sidu, Kuungi Sianginki, T. Inji Chi were arrested for murder. The three of them and Elothih Jadonyu were denied bail. Fanexo Ohayen, Ngi Chi Vin, and Elam Thu were granted bail. In mid-March, the eighth suspect emerged. Some villagers reported seeing a masked man standing guard at the house on the day of the incident. His face was captured by surveillance cameras, and his identity is still being verified by the police. 4 members of the Kuka Vernsmung family were brought to court on February 27. The case is scheduled to be retried on May 8. By then, more information will likely be revealed. Typically, perpetrators of such homicides are either anti-social individuals, harbor deep-seated grudges against the victim, or have some psychological deficiencies. Although the Ku Wanwei family and Thien HH Wanji had economic disputes, it was truly unnecessary to choose such a brutal method if they sought wealth. Additionally, the relationship among all 3 families was surprisingly harmonious before the incident, making the case appear straightforward yet complicated by baseless rumors. Currently, the most talked about topic on social media is the rather puzzling relationship between the Phch's husband, Sianjiguche, and her current husband, Tralaut. Not only Thing Choi Wangi, but this relationship extended to Siang Che's family and even Tralaut's family, who frequently interacted with them. According to a report by Eastern Quintly, Ku Yungi Si Yu hired several lawyers to defend himself after being arrested and conveyed a message to the Tralaut family through his legal assistant, saying, "I hope the Tralaut family can help him pay the lawyer's fees." Many netizens believe the extent of the divorce in Thha Ing's case may be beyond the imagination of normal people. Some even suggest that Seung Inji Chi and Tralaut were in a same-sex relationship, and the marriage between Tralaut and Tin Phe1U was merely a facade. However, this argument isn't convincing because after getting married, she bore Tralaut a son and a daughter. A fake marriage resulting in 2 children is rather illogical. Some people have also mentioned that the perceived good relationship between the Kuang family and the Tralaut family was because Seung Chi, Tralaut, and Thien Phau were former classmates. However, in a newly released wedding video from 2016, a different version of their acquaintance story is suggested. In the video, Tralaut affectionately confessed, "I met you on an ordinary day. On the street, you seemed like anyone else. But to me, you had something that others didn't, something I couldn't understand. On the street, I met you and a friend of yours. You left intermittently, leaving an impression." From the video, it seems the two did not meet as classmates, but rather by chance on the street. Another theory suggests the 2 families were actually a community of interest, and Thin Eche Yu was merely a tool used by both families to make money. Thien Pha Yi's home always stocked a large quantity of luxury goods, far exceeding personal use needs. Handbags and shoes were in the same styles and colors. Many netizens even speculated that this was a way to buy luxury goods to transfer money abroad. Of course, these are just speculations by netizens and lack any concrete evidence. Previously, it was mentioned that Thin Pha Joing had bought a villa under her ex-father-in-law Kuwangi Seo Yu's name to evade taxes. But those knowledgeable say that the wealthy do not concern themselves with minor tax evasion, as it brings unnecessary trouble. They suggest Thin PhD Unji might possess certain items, such as indecent videos or photos, that her ex-father-in-law uses to threaten her. Otherwise, why would she continue to care for her ex-husband's entire family after their divorce? In summary, this case still has many unanswered questions. Online information is mixed, and we cannot temporarily resolve the complex relationships among the three families. Only further police investigation can hopefully clarify the public's doubts. When it comes to famous brides, the first things that come to many people's minds are negative terms like lacking qualities, deliberately showing off, just flaunting wealth, etc. But Thin Endich was not like that. People around her have very positive remarks about her. She was mild-mannered, kind, educated, and very enthusiastic about public welfare. She treated even her household helpers with great respect. Thien Bedchiche-Inji's mother-in-law said she had a daughter-in-law who cared more for her than her own children. On birthdays, she would gather the family together. Even on the birthdays of the housekeeper, servants, or drivers, she would send gifts to care about everyone's feelings. The Pha Munyu was also very concerned about protecting stray animals. She, along with her friend G. Biwo Thai, founded a charity and donated tens of millions of Hong Kong dollars annually to support volunteers caring for stray dogs and cats. On February 28th, the organization posted on Facebook announcing a name change, adding Abby in front to honor her contributions. On the same day, Chiha Tet and Theti P's family and friends went to the morgue to identify her body and returned to the crime scene in Nongvi village to express their condolences. Chechichiatin told Tijijaan, "I am very grateful to have met you." While offering incense, her mother-in-law tearfully said, "I will live well to take care of your 4 children and hope you rest in peace." Abby, you died unjustly. Your kindness was misplaced, dear knave girl. Those wolves devoured your heart. But Thien Anjo's mother-in-law described her kindness was misplaced. But people like the Kuangi family, no matter how much they have, it only feeds their greed. They will never show any gratitude or responsibility. She got married at 18. That man went from lover to ex-husband, and then became her murderer. Thien PhD Ungi gradually fell into the Ku Onyi family's trap and ended up with not a single bone left intact. As outsiders, we might never fully understand her entire mental journey. Perhaps she simply believed in what she was taught as a child. Let's be realistic. Many people believe that as long as you are realistic, you will be rewarded. But don't forget that there is also a saying, a good person is easily bullied. A good person is like a horse to be ridden. Blind kindness does not necessarily bring about good results. From the story of the farmer and the snake in ancient Greece to the South Korean film Parasite, and currently the case of the murder of Abby Choi. Sometimes kindness can only be exchanged for cruelty and cannot awaken the conscience of others. In the end, I hope that in another world, Abby Choi will no longer be a tool for others to exploit, and she can peacefully return to her gentle self